So I'm just going to take you for a drive in the EV6 and just show you a few of the features as we go along. So the first one to note is our new steering wheel. So it's designed so that it's a lot more comfortable, but also you've got the flat bottom side of it, but also you've got quite large cutouts, so it's not going to obstruct your dials while still being nice and comfortable to drive along with. You won't be able to see it, but I've also got the heads-up display, which is telling me my exact speed on the road speed, and if I had the navigation set, it would be telling me using arrows where I'm going left, right, straight on. Also, as I'm driving along, you'll notice on here I've got my comfort design, so I've got my ventilated seats for the summer. So what that'll do is that'll push air conditioning straight through the seat to keep me cool. But as we're in winter, I'm going to use the heated seats, which will warm them up and make them nice and warm and toasty. So when I get in, the car itself is nice and warm. Along with, I've also got the heated steering wheel. So again, when you're getting on cold days and you're normally touching a freezing cold steering wheel, warm it up quite nicely for you. Not only do you have drivers, but you also got the passenger side as well. And you'll notice the big 12.3 inch infotainment screen in front of me. At the moment I've got it set so it's actually showing me the battery level, the temperature outside, and whatever radio station is on, which is BBC Radio 1. Now I can also use this and go through it to set my navigation, which is done just by postcode and very easy to use. So if I get lost, I can find myself very quickly. Now what this is doing is, along with setting the navigation itself, it's also pushing that up to the heads-up display in front of me so that I can see where I'm going. And there I've got quite a big screen on the left-hand side, which is showing me my actual route, but also on the right-hand side of it, it's actually showing me every turn as it approaches. So it'll do that right up to 2 yards left. Give you a clear indication of which junction you're taking, as it can be confusing. And then one of the great features that Kia have now put in is this control here for my heating. So not only can I control all my heating elements, but I can actually switch it and it will then control all my radio elements. So it's two displays in one place. That removes the multi buttons in most cars nowadays, just to make it a bit more sleeker and a bit more easier to navigate through. Now with the EV6, I do have automatic lights and automatic wipers, but I actually have an LED matrix, so I can actually put my high beams on, and what it will do is the individual LEDs will turn on and off to make sure that I'm not blinding other cars. So in effect, it puts a black box around their car, so I'm not blinding them. Whilst driving at night, it means that I can actually see everything very clearly, especially the sides of the road, without the worry of blinding other drivers, which is a fantastic feature. You'll also notice that the way that the front of the vehicle is designed with the clamshell is I've got the bumps of the bonnet on the left and the right, which makes it easier for me to judge my distancing, but it's very smooth as well, so I'm not getting any wind noise hitting the window screen itself. As this is the GT Line S, it does have the black headlining as well, just to give it that sort of more sporty car appeal. And also, if you do get any dirt marks, they don't show up so easy on black cloth as they do with the white interior. Great news about the cockpit with all the way it's designed is we actually use 111 recycled bottles, as Kia's approach now is to be more environmental friendly and to upuse and recycle where we can. Now as I'm driving along, I'm not having to use my brake, because by using these pedals here, I can actually put on what they call iPedal, which basically, as I come off the accelerator, the car will start slowing down for me. It will also use the front sensors and camera to judge the vehicles in front of me. So if I'm starting to approach them very quickly, it will apply more and more brake to the point of stopping me. Along with that, we've also introduced the cruise control, which is adaptive on this, so I can set it to a certain speed, but then I can also set my distance to the car in front, and that way I won't go over the speed limit and I will match the speed of the cars in front. So if I'm in a 30 mile an hour, which I am now, and they slow down to 15, my car will slow down to 15 as well. I'm not constantly accelerating and braking, which obviously for the electric motor and engine is perfect, because it means that it's not overworking, and I'm not using a lot of brakes, which is a bit more efficient and will help me get the best range out of the car. Now, one of the great features that Kia have put into the EV6 is the smart parking. Along with the 360 camera, it becomes very, very helpful in terms of trying to park. So I'm just going to find somewhere to pull up. Now, to take this corner, I'm literally just going to pop it into reverse by putting my foot on the foot brake and twisting this anti-clockwise, which will then bring up my display here in front of me. So I can see my rear camera, but also, more importantly, I can see around the car and where the car's heading. So as I start to creep back, I can see that there's no traffic coming towards me, there's no pedestrians walking across the road. And while I turn, I can see there on the 360 that I'm going around the corner. And I'm out, as easy as that. And then all I can do is put it back in drive, which will then show me the front camera. So if I was parking up against bollards, I will be able to see them, as that is my front bumper. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and find somewhere to demonstrate the remote parking to you. And as I said, there's a lot of technology that's gone into this car. One of the features that Kia do very well is the driver attention monitor. So it's monitoring everything you do, from accelerating, braking, turning, indicating, and it monitors your responses, and it keeps a track of how you're responding during your drive. So if I was suffering from fatigue, I wouldn't be braking as much or accelerating as quickly, and the attention monitor right in front of me there will actually start to go down. Once it goes down low enough and it knows my responses aren't the best, it will actually come up with a coffee symbol and say you need to take a break. So if you are doing long distances and you're worried about fatigue, the car is monitoring everything you do. Now if I use the radio buttons, I can actually then go through the station list, and I can also see which radio station I want to put on and put it on. I can then use my volume buttons, but as I said earlier, I can then turn that to my heating and then control my heating as well. With the EV6 and with the EVs that Kia do, you can actually put it on driver only. So if you're the only one in the car, you can press the driver only button, and that will make sure that it heats up where the driver is, but you're not wasting your electrical energy warming up parts of the car where there's no one in. Now I'm cruising along quite nicely at the moment. The one thing that you do get from EVs as well is you do get the ability to change the driving mode. So at the moment I'm in eco, so it's a nice smooth drive, relatively low amounts of traffic. However, if it was quite busy, I could push the drive mode button and that will put it into sport mode. What it does is it increases how sensitive the accelerator is, but also means that I can pull out of junctions a bit safer with a bit more speed, and also get onto roundabouts a little bit quicker and off them, so that I'm able to continue my journey without worrying about having enough power to get out of junctions and roundabouts. The one thing that they've introduced with the all-new EV6 as we all know with electric cars, the torque can be quite quick. This is a rear wheel drive, however, if it was to start to snow, I wouldn't be worried at all, because I can hold this button down, and the vehicle's actually got a snow mode. So what it does is it allows a little bit of wheel spin, which you need for driving on ice and snow, but also limits the amount of power that it's putting down to the road, so I'm less likely to lose control of the vehicle or come off the road. It also increases your traction control and all your driving ability aids to make sure that you're as safe as possible. I know there's a lot of stick with rear wheel drive cars and people are scared to drive them in snow. However, the snow we had the other week, I did try the EV6 with the snow mode and it was fantastic. Wouldn't have known that it was actually a rear wheel drive car. But as I'm driving along, it's nice and comfortable to drive. I've got the lane centering and the lane keeping on as well, so you'll feel from the steering wheel it's giving me little bits of input to make sure that I stay in the middle of my lane and that I'm not hogging either the left or the right hand side. So as I'm driving along with all the traffic coming towards me, I'm quite safe in the knowledge that I'm on my side. Just gives me a bit more peace of mind.